Mm. Hey guys, sorry. I was like, really, for whatever reason, I feel very Virgo-y about this camera angle. Welcome. Hi, I'm Island Turtle. This is the weekly intuitive astrology reading for July 17th to the 23rd. A week we've all been waiting for. A week that I know I've been talking about forever. When I was doing this, I'm like, oh my God, it's finally here. It's like finally we can move on to talking about other things. But before we go and get started, just really quickly, if you're new, hi, welcome. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment. The way this works, if you are new and you don't know what's going on over here, I'm going to go over the astrology of the week, give you my 2 cents on it, and then we're going to go ahead and do collective messages and messages for the elements as well. Okay? So let's just get started. I'm going to do this timestamp before I forget. Okay. All right. So first of all, the big things that are happening. On the 17th, we have the new moon in Cancer at 24 degrees, and the nodes are finally switching from Taurus to Aries. Again, this is tropic, Western over here on BOMISpirit. There may be a day where I incorporate other astrological disciplines, but that day ain't today. So the nodes are switching from Taurus to Aries, which also means Scorpio, to Libra. On the 22nd, Venus will finally enter its retrograde phase at 28 degrees of Leo. On that same day, we enter Leo season. The very next day, on the 23rd, Chiron in Aries retrogrades at 19 degrees. And then we have the first peak of Pluto retrograding Capricorn square the North Node in Aries at 29 degrees. It kind of like, oh, even just saying Aries, like North Node Aries, North Node Aries, North Node Aries, like I can feel that shift and it kind of feels good. Like I was a little apprehensive at first, mostly because I don't have like a lot of fire in my chart, let alone Aries specifically. But I'm like, you know what? Something about that feels really good, actually. I think it's all about perspective. It's all about perspective. But the Pluto square North Node aspect peaks on the 23rd, the 25th, and the 28th. I've been talking about this for a long time, why the 22nd to the 28th is crazy. But there you go, just for those days who are new and you haven't heard of that before. There you go. Let's go ahead and dive in. So before I get into I don't know why I took my glasses off. Felt like a moment to take my glasses off. Before I get into some more astrology, I just want you guys to get some ideas of the themes of what's going down this week. A lot of rebellious individualism sort of going on, how we assert ourselves, how like who are we, right? Who are we, especially in the context of Capricorn and Cancer? I would say out of anything that's happening this week, that's what it mostly is coming down to, especially because the North Node is playing a huge role. Pluto, retrograding Capricorn, is playing a huge role, and the Sun being in Cancer also playing a huge role. There's actually a really important T-square that I'm going to talk about when it comes to that. But we still have a lot of this energy of reinvention, of breaking deeper into who we are as people. But now this week with the new moon in Cancer and then the T-square that's coming up as well, there's a question. How do other people fit into that? How do other people fit into those dynamics when we are so focused on the self and so focused on expressing who we are authentically? I was also getting, as the nodes are switching, this is just something that I was intuiting, that there's this reprioritization happening as well in the context of all of that, where now that we're moving into Aries, we're moving out of Taurus, that last degree, that 29 degree point of Aries of any sign is called a critical degree point. Now, some astrologers feel like that's just an extreme expression of that sign. Others feel like it's almost like a shadowy version of that sign. Doesn't matter what, if it's, which one's right or which one's wrong. The point is, it's going to be intense Aries energy. And anytime the nodes switch over, it's to introduce these new collective lessons that, of course, affect us individually, but we also can see how that plays out for the collective over the course of 18 months, right? So we have these new lessons, this new energy that is pushing us in a certain direction. And now it's like we have to adjust to that. So the energy in Aries is going to be more intense than we're used to, but it's also going to be new. It's going to be like we're finding our sea legs a little bit with North Node Aries and what that means, right? North Node Aries is about identity. It's about the self. It's about the ego, but it's also about how we lead, how we assert ourselves, how we cause change, how we make things happen. Aries is really good at making shit happen. And sometimes to create, that means you gotta destroy. One of the reasons why it's associated with Mars, but that's a whole other video. So think of it like that, right? So we're starting to get in the energy of even more self-focus. Well, we already have this Chiron with Lilith and Uranus energy of like, go, do it, break out, be you, be who you are. And now we've got this Sun and Cancer and Pluto Capricorn energy of like family versus work, society, external reality, and relationships like in context or in contrast, I should say, to all of us getting more into who we are. Yeah, it might create a little bit of tension, it might create a little bit of stress, it might even create a little bit of confusion of like how do I be me? And for a lot of us, because some of us are reinventing, some of us are reprioritizing. Now that we have this different viewpoint of who we are, or this different knowing understanding of who we are, or what is even important to us, now that we know that, how do we balance tribe and family? How do I be all of that within the context of groups, with family, or even work, right? For some, there's going to be more of an emphasis on how the changes that we're going through societally, economically, how that it has affected your identity of who you are, how that's transformed like your own identity or how you see yourself. For some of you, it's gonna be more in the context of family, family culture, family trauma, right? And how that's also influenced who you've been versus who you are. And again, this reprioritization of values and things like that. So that's mostly what's going down this week. And it might feel like a lot because we have so much shifting throughout the week, like really big things that we've been waiting for. But just embrace it. Just embrace it. Just take it day by day. Live your life. Just be like, don't like, and this is something that I've kind of gotten laxed on when I talk about astrology in my videos. Astrology is great. I love astrology. Obviously, it's fun. Um, it's not a nail in the coffin, all right? Like if you look at astrology and you take it super seriously, like to the point where you're making all of your decisions based off of astrology and like you're not really just kind of living in the moment or living your life, I look at that as like maybe not so okay. But that's just my perspective. Take it as you will. But that's what I recommend. Like just listen to what I'm telling you, and if things resonate, they resonate, but don't make like allow it to stop don't allow anything of what I'm saying for you to stop living your life. Okay, is basically what I was trying to say. There, I got it out. All right, so let's get into some of the aspects here. Um, oh, yes, the frustration. So, okay, Mercury is also very active this week, and we still have this Mars and Virgo opposing Saturn. It's going to bring some anxiety, some frustration, and some anger. Just a heads up. I'm going to say intense emotions. I'll just say it like that. Intense, triggery, aroused emotions that might surprise you as far as how people are acting towards you, or maybe what you start to feel in response to the external reality. Okay, now, excuse me, Mars and Virgo opposing Saturn in Pisces. This actually brings up this question of authority and feeling really easily oppressed by other people or your duties, your obligations, or your bosses, like again, like authority figures. So don't be surprised if you feel easily agitated when you're talking to people, or if like you're trying to do something and like people try to intervene, or like someone calls you or whatever. It's just this feeling of I really want to do this, or I really want to stay focused on this, and feeling interrupted a lot, or feeling like there are things in your way. Okay, so just let you know that that's there. It's actually strongest in the middle of the week, about the 20th. There's a lot going on like right in the middle of the week. So the new moon is on the 17th on Monday, like the very beginning, and then the middle we have this like weird peak of energy, and then we end the week with some really intense energy, like the Pluto square north node, the Chiron retrograde, the Venus retrograde, right? Like really big shifts at the end of the week over the weekend. But anyway, moving on. So Mercury is going to shift from being in a square with Jupiter to being in a square with Uranus and then conjunct Lilith. So a lot of rebellious stuff going on this week. Like it had this vibe of almost like optimism and like being able to see the bigger picture of things, or at least have a unique perspective that maybe you wouldn't be able to have before, just in your ongoing life and whatever. Like shifting from that to like really restless thoughts, like a racing mind. Like, and that Uranus energy is craving adventure, but with the Lilith component on top of that, it's really wanting to live out your desires and again your individualism, right? So just know that Mercury is going to be fluctuating a lot and leading to fluctuating emotions and racing thoughts potentially. Like you might feel like you're going from a relatively like cool, calm, collected mindset to your mind being all over the place by the end of the week. So just saying that there's a potential for that, not a diehard thing. Now, something that I think is the most important thing that, well, actually most important, top three important things. Well, outside of the transits I already mentioned, if you're going to look at an aspect, this T square is very important because it connects to all of the other transits that we're going through this week. There, that's the best way to say that. Actually, I might put a timestamp on this. Hold on a second. Yeah, we'll do 1010. 1010 to talk about the T square, the very important T square. So arguably the T square is happening like the 21st of July, depending on where you are in the world, potentially the 22nd when Venus retrogrades and we shift into Leo season. So what's a T square, first of all, right? So a T square is when you have two squares in opposition. So you have two planets are opposing each other. They're literally on the opposite ends of the wheel, and then they're squaring off another planet. Maybe it's over here, maybe it's over there. So we have the Sun in Cancer opposing Pluto in Capricorn. That's the opposition. They're both square the North Node. Dun, 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 dun. I know. When I saw that, I was like, ooh. I was like, talk about intense. I mean, Pluto, Cancer, North Node, Aries. I was like, oh, it's a lot. And the node is switching, like literally, the node switches earlier in the week, right? So the node is like freshly in Aries, 29 degrees. Pluto's at Capricorn, 29 degrees. And the sun is moving through Cancer, right? And actually transitioning into Leo, right, on the 22nd. So that's why I'm saying the 21st feels like that's probably when we're going to feel the peak of this T square, when they're all at that 29 degree point. And what did I say about 29 degrees earlier? It's the critical point. So we have these three we'll say placements, because North Node is like, nodes of the moon, right? So we have these three placements that are all in their 29 degree point, their most intense expression of themselves in the T square. A T square brings about this energy of like a double intensity than you normally would have with a square, because you literally have two squares. But whatever placement is making those squares, which is the North Node, is usually considered to be like the focal point, where it's kind of driving things, where no matter what's going on between the sun and Pluto in the opposition, no matter what's going on in the opposition, they're both ends of it are influenced by the North Node, essentially. And so it just, a lot of things, beautiful things can come out of any aspect. So anytime you hear square, people go, right? Because it's like, no, that sounds bad. Perspective facilitates a lot of beautiful growth, honestly, and also tends to birth creativity or creative solutions as well, because you basically have this driving force that's really highlighting the importance of balancing a spectrum of energy, which in this case, Capricorn and Cancer, that's the spectrum of work and family life, right? The spectrum of who are you outside of your home and who are you in the world and how people see you and what you do for a living and all those things, or your inner world and where you feel most at home, where you feel most at safe, your emotional security and your financial, physical security. Those are big things. Like, all the houses are important and they touch on really important things, but Cancer and Capricorn, they are considered, right, the midhaven in the IC, right? It's like you can almost look at those two signs, those two houses, as like the center from which your world evolves around, in my opinion. Not saying it's fact, it's just my opinion. Anyway, so Pluto being in Capricorn is this energy of what is being dismantled around us. Also, any like distortions or corruption or secrets or like things that really need to be looked at in terms of Capricorn on a societal level, because that's really Capricorn, because it's about the external world and society and all that, but also on the individual level. So that's going to be your relationship with money, your relationship with your work, your mission, how disciplined you are, like what your goals are, how you achieve, and again, like how you show up in society to an extent. That's going to apply to all the changes we've been going through economically as well. So that is affecting your life in some way, shape, or form, and has been, because Pluto's been there for a bit. Yes, it touched Aquarius, but most likely it was still sitting in the same house. So wherever Pluto has been for you has been the house that you've seen a lot of, how do I want to say? You've probably felt very affected by, or has been highlighted by the changes economically speaking, but also where your relationship with work and discipline and achieving goals and money and all of that stuff has been highlighted, right? And how maybe you need to reevaluate your relationship with all those things. So there's that you've already been going through. That's been very present for years at this point. So you'll know what I'm talking about in relation to that for you. With the opposition to the words, with the opposition to the sun in Cancer, this has been a much more recent energy because obviously the sun only stays in a sign for like a month at a time, right? So the sun being in Cancer has been highlighting um, our like how we feel when it comes to family, right? Family, domestic life, our emotional security, our emotional stability, but more so in terms of our identity because it's also the sun. So you have all these like challenges that you've already been going through in terms of how changes in society have been affecting you, or your relationship with money or work, or how you survive, how you get by, or like who are you in society. So you have that working against how important your emotional stability and security are to you. What is that for you? What does that look like for you? And also tribe and relationships. What does tribe look like for you? What does family look like for you? So you're already going to have some challenges there, or we all will. And then the North Node comes in. This push in new directions, this push for individualism, this push for reinvention, for having a stronger voice, asserting oneself a little bit more, and also, again, this reprioritization of values, right? What matters to you now? You might be very aware that there's been some changes in that arena, especially this year for a lot of people, that what matters to them with home life or even work life has evolved a lot, but particularly with that Capricorn energy, particularly with Earth because of the North Node Taurus, right? So that's been changing for you, which in turn has also been coinciding with this change in identity because Chiron has been in Aries and has also been forcing us to reinvent ourselves and to see what has been keeping us from being us. So you have all of that going on, and then now you have this question of like, but wait a minute, what makes you feel supported? What about other people? Or do you still have to show up for people, or do you still are going to go extreme in this rebellious energy, right? It calls in this question too of like the independent lone wolf versus the person who wants to be part of a group or part of a tribe or part of a community. The challenge with this T square is to balance all of that, right? The reprioritization of your personal values and belief systems, especially in terms of career, money, societal, living by societal rules and things of that nature, and what environment you want to be in for that, versus what feels like home emotionally to you. And can you still have this new, much more assertive, much more confident, much more prominent expression of who you are as a person, even if you've reinvented yourself? What does all of it look like? It's a lot. Just let that marinate. It's important. Just like, yeah, let it marinate. So like I said, if you're gonna look at any aspects this week, I would pay attention to that T square. Now that T square, like I said, peaks on July 21st. Okay. Alrighty. So another important thing with that, so this is like the Sun Pluto North Node, right? Neptune, interestingly enough, is going to be sextile Pluto and will also be trine the Sun. Neptune's going to be a nice saving grace here in Pisces. Because Neptune in this position with the Sun and Pluto, especially with Pluto being part of this T square, Neptune's going to help us be more in tune with who we are on a soul level because it's going to be working with the Sun, right? Source, identity, which is going to be in Cancer. So, but Neptune's also working with Pluto in a positive way. So yes, we do have this T square, but the two forces that are really being impacted by that focal point are going to both be supported by Neptune and helped out by Neptune, which is going to be great. Neptune being in this position with the Sun and Pluto helps us to be more in tune with who we actually are. And then in terms of Pluto, the Pluto component, who we are out in the world. You see what I'm saying here? So like come in full circle. So Neptune will help you get deeper with your Sun in Cancer energy, which is a transit. It's not who you are as natally, but in this transit, so that you actually understand on a deeper level what does bring you emotional stability and security, and how do you want to show up in the context of tribe and community and loved ones and family. What does that look like? What does that feel like, even if it's changed from what you thought it would be? And it's also going to help being very clear in the Pluto Capricorn energy as well, where things have been changing, things have been evolving, things have been dismantling societally, economically, etc. But even your relationship with control, ambition, achieving, being disciplined, work, money has been changing, and you've been seeing distortions there, even if the distortions were part of programming from society to begin with anyway. So Neptune's going to get you really clear on that to get you to see, oh, here's how we can adjust this Capricorn energy, right? It's just this further understanding of Capricorn 2.0. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I've talked about it in other videos. And if you're new, You'll catch up, don't worry. So Neptune's supporting the Sun and Pluto, even though the North Node is bombarding the opposition of the Sun and Pluto. So Neptune is beautiful, is working beautifully here. All right. Lean into Pisces. Lean into Pisces, lean into the North Node, and allow yourself to just like find your way through all of that. Okay. Last little note about the North Node. North Node will also be trine Venus, which is in Leo, 28 degrees, and it will be retrograding on the 22nd. That's just really bringing in the importance of relationships and the importance of really expressing yourself and dealing with people from a way that's like from like wholeheartedly, basically, like from your heart. Very authentic, very authentic, and also very passion fueled. Passion fueled. Leo's very passionate. So just mentioning relationships are going to become even more important here. So you can see what I'm saying, right? It's like Pluto's been in Capricorn for a while. We've been in that energy. We've been through those struggles. We've been through those changes. We're pretty used to it by now. And Neptune's been working with Pluto for a while too. I just haven't talked about it because it's been so long. It's more of a generational aspect at this point, but it's prominent. But now that we're in this Cancer season, that's the new element. That's the new energy that's coming up to make us question things, make us look at things, make us reprioritize things. So this is a week of reprioritizing, reevaluating who you are and your role in your own life, in the world, and what you want it all to look like, what you want it to all feel like that provides you emotional stability and support and tribe and feeling really good about whatever it is you're doing materially speaking as well. A lot. I think I mentioned this before. Chiron in Aries is also trine Lilith and Leo. That's been there for a bit and it's still there. That's part of that liberation, reinvention of self, expression of self, and moving past like programming and obstacles and self-limiting beliefs and all that too. Oh, one little thing to mention. I don't think it's important, but I'm just going to mention it. Towards the end of the week, Chiron will start to square square Juno in Cancer. So again, more of this. It's very similar, right? Because Sun in Cancer square the North Node in Aries. Very similar. Chiron in Aries square Juno in Cancer. Juno's about marriage and partnerships, though, like bonded relationships, but it also speaks to protection of neglected or abused feminine energy. And with it being in Cancer, it's really going to amplify that as well. So towards the end of the week, there may be some triggered moments or feelings or intense feelings that might come up in terms of any abused or neglected feminine energy, or if you're in a marriage or a bonded relationship, which to me is like seventh house energy. Like if there's a physical contract, like a business relationship or a marriage, or it's like some sort of intense soul contract where that applies. But I'm not too worried about it. It's not even going to be strongest until the following week anyway. Oh, when we continue to have the Pluto squared North Node stuff. I'm not too worried about it. I'm just mentioning it to you so you guys are aware. And then one last thing about the Pluto square North Node, because while it's part of the T square this week, as we move into the following week, right, the 24th to the 30th, we still have 2 more days where Pluto goes exact square the North Node. The first is on Sunday, the 23rd, which is technically just after the peak of the T square. So really capitalize on the T square, because when we shift into those later days on the last 2 for the square between Pluto and North Node on the 25th and the 28th, it's going to really intensify these challenges where we're going to feel, let me rephrase that, where there's a potential to feel very out of control, like a potential for just changes that are on like a massive level, whether that's actually happening or not. It's just the feeling of it. The intensity is going to be there, right? But we're not going to have the support of the question of Sun and Cancer, right? The question of how we feel secure within ourselves, how we feel at home within ourselves or within people, that emotional part of our lives and like family and loved ones and that part of our lives is not really going to be there so presently to kind of balance that out. And especially with the support of Neptune isn't totally going to be there either. So I'd really capitalize on that. Don't feel pressure to, don't be hard on yourself if you don't. Just be aware, right? Like if you hit the middle of the week and you start to have all these light bulb moments of like, whoa, I see it. I get it. I feel it. I know what I need. I know what's best for me. And again, especially in terms of all this reinvention of self, right? An expression of self. And then you hold on to that. Hold on to that. If you have those moments, hold on to it. and then things will progress and you won't forget, right? So this is a week to just be self-aware and reprioritize, reevaluate. Yes, nurture your rebellious individual self, but also make sure that you're allowing yourself to grow and change in the context of how you are balancing your work, play, love, family, life, right? 10th house versus 4th house. Okay, enough talking. Oh, signs and degree points. Sorry, forgot. I got so excited to just get into the collective reading. So, because of the T square, I would really prioritize looking at your house of Capricorn, Cancer, which is where Pluto and the Sun will be 25 to 29 degrees. Now, obviously, the North Node is the focal point. So, definitely look to where the North Node is. It's also where we're going to have the switch, right? So, North Node 0 degrees to, Taurus 0 degrees to Aries 29 degrees. It's moving 1 degree, so it's going to be in the same house most likely of where it's been. And if it's straddling, definitely look at both houses. Why not? But I would prioritize that T square. And then I would look to Pisces 25 to 29 degrees. Wherever you have that is where you're going to find a lot of support within that T square and within the week as far as clarity and feeling connected to whatever that truth is for you. All right. I don't think it's as important because it's just part of the same energy that we're all experiencing and have been. But Leo and Aries, 15 to 20 degrees, is where we're going to have like that Mercurial Lilith influence as well. It's just part of that like liberated, how do I want to say, liberated sense of self and expressing all of that. And like I said, Mercury is going to fluctuate a lot, so that how those two houses might feel a little crazy, particularly the Leo house over the Aries house. Okay. So just to reiterate one more time, Capricorn and Cancer 25 to 29 degrees, and of course the North Node Taurus 0 degrees, Aries 29 degrees, wherever that is for you. Don't forget about the importance of Pisces 25 to 29 degrees because it will be very helpful and very comforting, provide a lot of clarity. And again, not important, but if you wanted to look at Aries, Leo, 15 to 20 degrees, you can. Again, fluctuations, emotional, passionate, maybe a little anxiety inducing, but prioritize Capricorn and Cancer for sure. Okay. Cardinal signs will feel the energy of this week the most. Capricorn and Cancer's first, and then Aries, and then Libra as a result of the nodal switch, and also the just Chiron activity. But Capricorn and Cancer for sure. Okay. All right. Let's move on. Let's do some cards. Let's do some channeling. Whew. Okay. All right. What are we starting with here? I think, what should we start with? I was tempted to do Big Bertha. Why does she feel like she'd be a lot right now? She kind of feels like she'd be a lot right now. Yeah, I feel like she'd be a lot right now. We're going to do the Energy Oracle cards here. Let's see. I accidentally picked up a card from another deck. Interesting. The Two of Fire. This speaks to relationships. How healthy and balanced they are, how much they're not, how much you embrace them, how much you don't. Also, sometimes people who use this deck look at this as like the twin flame card, counterpart card. You can see they're like mirror images of each other. Again, relationships will be important this week because it'll be the question of how important they've been, how important they should be, especially in terms of your own emotional stability, support system, security, community, home life, all that stuff. Anyway, let's move on. Starting with this deck, if any of you don't know this deck. Any messages or insights for the collective for this week? Whoa, don't get away from me. Don't run. Any messages or insights for the collective for this week? Okay. Interesting. blossoming abundance in reverse. This is a feeling of waning energy, like energy slowing down, energy decreasing, feeling like it's a little harder to feel stable. It's a little harder to feel like you have everything. I feel anxiety behind this energy. I want to say don't worry about it. I feel like it's indicative of the shift that's happening, the reprioritizing that needs to happen, right? It's almost like a sign. Like if there's any part of your life that's starting to feel very stagnant, dare I say old or outdated, like like you walk into like a really old house like that hasn't been painted in like 30 years and you're like, oh, it's musty in here, right? It's like it's got that like kind of dead, stale, yeah, just like that kind of energy. That's kind of what I'm feeling here. So I would pay attention to what aspects of your life feel this way. It's a clue. It does. It feels like a clue, an indication of getting really aware of what really needs to change. For some of you, if you feel this way about your whole life, I'm not going to say change your whole life because it sounds so dramatic, but if you feel like it's your whole life, there might be something foundationally that should shift, which should shift everything else, right? But pay attention to that feeling. Pay attention to the mustiness of your life. I feel like it's been there. I feel like you're just going to become more aware of it. Interesting. Okay. Any other messages or insights? I almost getting to like it's a part of your life you probably have been having a hard time paying attention to or investing consistent energy into. Yeah, oh boy, cornucopia in reverse. Very similar cards actually, because cornucopia is about it's kind of similar to the Ten of Pentacles a little bit, like reaching the promised land. Has that kind of feeling like, ooh, I hit the jackpot. I'm gonna be taken care of. I'm gonna be sitting pretty. I don't gotta worry about anything. Blossoming abundance is on your way to that. And so to have both of them in reverse, yeah, it's this indication that like, yeah, something's becoming old, stale, musty. This feeling of it's gonna die, right? Or maybe needs to be revamped or even revitalized. Like, not saying it has to completely go away, but it's an indication of, oh, something has to change. This has to shift. This cannot stay how it's been. We've been getting a lot of that collectively. You guys are going to talk about that a lot in videos probably as well. At this point, it's been a long phase of that, where we keep going through these windows and cycles of, oh wait, that needs to go. Oh shit, that needs to go. Oh, they need to go. Like one thing after another, after another, after another. Like this like very slow transition to reinvention, right? Or anchoring into new era, new reality, whatever way you want to look at it. But that's what I'm getting with that. Any other messages or insights? Any other messages or insights for the collective? Oh boy, envy. Kind of like a Five of Pentacles energy, a little bit of Five of Swords too going on in there. This is like a feeling of separation, right? Of what you want is outside of yourself, but it doesn't have to be. And that speaks to, again, the reinvention, right? And it also speaks to how the Cancer Capricorn part of our lives, and again, that could be different houses for you, but just natally speaking, right? That's 4th house and that's 10th house. That's like the houses they rule is what I mean by natally. That literally is your little safe space inner world, and then the outside external reality and what's going on there as far as your stability goes versus stability over here. Oh. It's weird that this is envy because I feel attachment. Like, I don't want to say like a sinking ship, but kind of like whatever's been a little hard to keep investing in, and you can feel the energy waning. I want to say, why are you still attached to it? Because this tells me you actually don't want to be attached to it. Like envy tells me that you're focusing on other things, you're being called to other things, maybe you're craving other things, which is why this isn't getting energy and this is dying. So again, reprioritizing, reevaluating, right? Because for some of you, it's about really being okay with what you have and being grateful for what's in your life and just nurturing it differently. giving it different food, giving it different supplements, giving it different attention, right? Nurturing it differently so this can come back to life, because wherever your attention goes, energy flows. But some of you, it's like you're wanting other because deep down you don't feel connected to this anymore. Like you've outgrown this, or this is like it's time for this to kind of phase out, is what I want to say. So it's one or the other. And again, everyone's situation is different because 8 billion different experiences, right? Y'all got different stuff going on. So again, some of you just need to shift your focus back and re-water, re-nurture. Others, it's like, you know, you're being called elsewhere and you're feeling like you're kind of dying here because promised land is elsewhere. It's up to you to discern that. Again, 8 billion different experiences going on in everyone's life. Let's see what else one's sticking out. Yeah, I think this new moon is going to make it very clear, as will the T-square. Which we're already experiencing that energy, right? It's just going to build and build and build. Anything else for the collective? I love that this is out here, actually. Broken heart in reverse coming in after that. Because this is getting real with that energy, with yourself. It's coming to terms with it. Because this energy is very uncomfortable. Like, this basically should just represent that. But the fact that this is coming out in reverse tells me that that's part of the energy this week, is getting very real about what that stale energy is. And should your attention go back to this, or cut bait and go towards something else? It'll be clear. It'll be clear, and this discomfort will alleviate. Overall, we have a woman holding a coin, Queen of Pentacles energy, very Capricorn. Might as well say Pluto. Deceit. Oh, wow. Door to Spirit in reverse, and then Community in reverse. It's exactly what I was talking about. Literally, I feel like I'm looking at Pluto and Capricorn opposing Sun in Cancer. This is coming down to what matters to you, what's important to you, especially in terms of this first, right? Which is your material life, your physical life, the Capricorn part of your life, and then this, the Cancer part of your life. Again, emotional support, community, tribe, family, domestic life, emotional stability, feeling at home within the self as well. And what's in between that? Deceit and Door to Spirit in reverse. When the Sun opposes Pluto, yes, it'll highlight the tension, but it's up to you to utilize the Neptune and Pisces to listen. To listen and just have that moment of honesty with yourself. I can tell it might feel very uncomfortable for some of you, because Pluto and Capricorn is going to show you in that opposition how you haven't been listening, or, you know, how you haven't been listening to the Sun in Cancer. Now, it might even show you the opposite, how maybe you haven't been learning from Pluto being in Capricorn, and maybe you've been overindulging in that Cancerian, you know, call. I doubt it. I doubt it. I think it's going to be more the former, but again, everyone's going to be different, right? Yeah, I mean, especially because we have envy, which is like 5 of Pentacles, cornucopia and blossoming abundance. Well, abundance isn't just material. A lot of people look at it that way. Like, it does have a bit of a 10 of Pentacles feel. Again, earthy, Capricorn, 10th house versus Cancer, emotional, right? So again, it could be one or the other. Like I've been saying in the astrology portion, either you're not paying attention enough to the Cancer or the Capricorn. Either way, time to reevaluate your priorities and understand what matters to you. Because what's really clear to me is that you're just going to get really clear, even if it's going to be hard to hear or not. I feel like for most people, it's going to be that there hasn't been enough of this reevaluation and introspection and paying attention to and understanding the Cancer part of that whole aspect. Emotional stability, security, home, family, tribe, all of that. That deceit to me just feels like things that have been hidden. That totally feels like Pluto to me. Okay. But like I said, I'm not too worried, because we do have basically 3 of Swords in reverse, right? Indicating that not only will there be clarity, because we usually move from the 3 of Swords to the 4, recovery and clarity. So I'm not too worried about it, but that seems to be what's going on collectively. It feels so short. Like that was so simple. No, I mean I gotta do a lot of elements, so we're just gonna leave it there. We're just gonna leave it there for the collective message. Let's go ahead and move on to the elements here. Oh, wait. Hopefully no one hit the timestamps yet. It's not just about the people you feel at home with or how you feel at home in the world. It's also about the people that may be part of your material world as well, like your career, your finances. Again, that Capricorn, right? Some of you may be shifting from like certain groups to other groups because there needs to be a shift. How do I want to say this? Because yes, your Capricorn Cancer axis needs to shift, but what am I getting at here? Okay, some of you may realize that the people you've been spending time with are actually enabling this need for balance, and so the people need to shift. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's move on. Okay, earth, air, fire, or water. Oh, fire, you're calling me. Okay. We shall do fire. Aries, Leo, Sag. Starting with the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. Wow! Cards went flying. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Oh my god. Fire signs, you have a lot to say. You're like, oh my god, you're like spinning cards at me. Okay. Stop it, fire signs. I'm just gonna show you these bottom two. I don't know if they're gonna come out, but both of these got spit out at me. Cheetah and elk. That feels like a and if you play sports, it's like, that feels like a cut. Like turning on your heels, right? It's like, okay, so like if you're running or you're sprinting a certain direction and then you got to turn really fast, it's like you plant and pivot, right? Really quickly. That's what that feels like to me. Towards people, circumstances, decisions that are for your highest good. That's in that elk energy, the King of Pentacles energy, which we have the Queen of Pentacles basically in the collective reading. But anyway, moving on. Okay, I'm just gonna shuffle like this because you guys are like spitting way too many cards at me. Aries, Leo, Sag. Aries, Leo, Sag. Hearing what's missing. What's missing? This is all coming down to the T-square. Like, they're being so clear about it. Like, the new moon's important. Spoke myself in the eye. New moon's important. The Pluto exact square north node's important. And yes, the retrogrades of Venus and Chiron, yes, they're important. But smacked up in the middle is this T-square. And again, it affects all of that, right? They just keep bringing me back to that. That Sun and Cancer component is going to help to show you what's been missing, is what I'm getting from my fire signs. And that focal point of the North Node is what's driving all of this. So again, the push forward, the push towards destiny, the push towards growth, and then in the form of Aries. Maybe deep down you already know what's missing. Some of you might have been avoiding this truth of what's missing. And okay, before I move on, how do I want to say this? Because, you hear people say that in the community too, like, it's perception, and is anything ever missing, or are you whole and complete, or you have everything you need? And like, yes, it's important to have that perspective, but part of that is also having this awareness when something's not right in your reality, when something's not aligned to who you are, or like how you are as a person, or what it is that you're looking for, or what it is that you want. It is important to have that awareness, right? That's part of co-creating. Like, just recognizing you want something that's not in your reality doesn't mean that you have scarcity mindset. You understand what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that you have a negative mindset. It doesn't mean that you have like old ways of thinking. It means that you're just very aware and you're discerning, and then you can do something about it, right? Anything else for my fire signs? Interesting. Rabbit. This feels like a little bit of a freaked out energy. Rabbit comes out when it's like hypervigilance, like almost like when we're on edge a little bit, or we're very, very observant, or we're scared. Rabbit, it can also indicate like abundance and fertility and all of that. In this deck, it speaks of fear. My guides know what cards mean to me. Remember in the collective reading, we had this energy, and I feel it like as a response. I feel the rabbit as a response to that. It's this raised awareness. I keep wanting to say that something is like losing like vitality, that something is dying or something is phasing out. But I don't want to like, I don't want to say this, but I still feel like there's a group of you where it's not about the fact that it's dying, just maybe that it could if you don't nourish it right. Your awareness of whatever this is in your life is being raised like an alarm bell. It literally feels like a plant, like a plant that has like fruits and flowers, and it's like for some reason part of the plant is not getting all the water, not all the nutrients are flourishing, right? It's like part of the plant is like dying, and then you're like, oh shit, when did that start? Like it has that feeling, right? But I feel like there's denial behind this. Like you've known this has been there, like deep down you've known, but maybe you just didn't really want to see it or want to acknowledge it. You understand what I'm saying? I think you guys get what I'm getting at. Whether the plant actually needs to die, again, versus just needs more attention and nourishment, that's a whole other thing. It's situation dependent. Anything else for my fire signs? Aries, Leo, Sag. Oh, that's a lot of cards. Ooh. I always go ooh when the dragon comes out. So I was like, oh, hello. Always makes a presence. The dragon is bringing clarity as well. The dragon is part of the solar plexus chakra. There's 7 cards that have this symbol on it that are part of the chakra system. But anyway, dragon comes out when we're ready to see through the veil, we're ready to see through ego, to see the truth. And then we have crocodile and fish. Now I like this because it almost has a calming feeling. Like you go from like, oh shit, what the hell? Wait a minute. Like that to, oh, okay, I see, I recognize, I got it. Fish is about a surrendering energy, like moving with the flow of the river, essentially. There's an acceptance that you're moving into when you become very clear about why something has been happening and what you probably should be doing about it. Like it's an instant calm. Yeah, it's an instant calm. All right, well, we like that. Anything else for my fire signs? Nice. Swan. Swan comes out when we move into a place of feeling whole and complete or remembering we're whole and complete. Usually comes in after some shadow integration, but also speaks to partnerships. And remember, we got that little sneak peek from the other deck, which was the 2 of Wands. Partnerships. And these will be partnerships that are more of an equal footing, where, again, like I was getting for some of you, it's actually recognizing that you're around people that are not your people, or people that are actually going to keep you from moving into the lesson of Aries and balancing out your Cancer, Capricorn. And this is coming out, so being associated with the broken heart card as well from the collective reading. I like this. I like this a lot because you go from like being on edge, feeling a little freaked out, maybe a little worried, a little scared about your situation. Again, and it could be anything in your life. It could be your family. It could be your household. It could be about work. It could be about your money situation. It could even be about your health, right? Where you're like, oh shit, like I need to change something because this is not going to go well if I let it continue the way it is. It's just going to keep dying or phasing out or waning or weakening or falling apart, whatever it is. If I don't do something, what do I do? What do I do? And why is this happening? And why is this happening? Why is this happening? And then we get this. It's a moment of truth and clarity that's deep within your soul. The solar is the chi, right? Where a lot of your mana sits, right? And you get it. You instantly become calm. It's like, oh, I need to nourish it differently. Or, oh, it's not for me anymore, right? It's one or the other. And you find a lot of just peace in it and acceptance in it, and it just feels really good. And for some of you, this is going to coincide with some new people, maybe a new person kind of entering your life, entering your reality. I want to say adding to. Yeah, if you have a new person or new people coming in, how do I want to say this? It's adding to the new path. It's adding to the shift in direction. It's adding to whatever change this is requiring. Could even be someone who's going to help you with that. Nice. All right. Moving on. Any other cards for my fire signs? Any other clue? Last card. Oh, we love it. We love it. We love it. This is like, I'm getting like a gentle giant energy. That's honestly what I'm getting with the elk. Need a little water. Hold on. Yeah. I'm getting a gentle giant. I like this. I like this energy. This feels really good. It's this calm and sense of grounding and just like, I don't want to say this. It's mature. Like the elk is like a King of Pentacles energy, right? The elk in this deck is the divine masculine principle. The elk in this deck is like the ultimate parent partner, like the person that's like ride or die, can handle anything, be there for anyone, manage companies, manage families, like hold shit down. Like that is the elk. The elk will always show up to help you, right? That's the elk. And I feel that like that you're moving into this energy, and for some people this energy is showing up in your life and will be helping you for sure. But I'm hearing gentle giant. Like there's something very sweet and tender about this energy. Oh, hold on. Literally feel like I have a hairball. Oh. Oh my God. Yeah, that's movement of energy right there. Ooh. It's like a sweet Saturn, is how I would describe that. Oh. Oh my God. I can't pause the video because the way I record these. If I remember to edit this, I'll try to remember to cut this out. If not, you're here. Oh, a lot of third chakra energy right now. There's a tenderness. There's a strength. There's also a confidence of I can do it. Yeah. A confidence of I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. Really feeling it on the swan as well. Feels like a level up for some of you. We're moving into this almost like you're having a bit of a breakthrough. Like whatever was missing doesn't seem like it was outside of you. It was you. You were missing. A piece of you was missing. Oh my God. I can literally feel it. It's like a ball of energy. Like right here, I can totally feel it. It's so crazy. You were missing, fire signs. A piece of you was missing. And there's something about that dragon energy, the solar plexus. I feel like the tarot cards are going to give us more information on that. That like calls that piece back. Some of you guys might go through a little mini soul retrieval. Or when the nodes switch over. Or in the T-square, whatever, sometime this week. It's like a piece of you is back, or you remember something, or something just clicks into place. Like, it's kind of amazing and it's really beautiful, actually. God, I love this elk energy. Again, this could even be a person that enters your life or a group that enters your life, and it's like, oh my God, this is what I was waiting for. This is what I was waiting for. And then you're going to see it, you're going to recognize it, and immediately feel calm because you'll just know. So for some of you guys, this is like a cosmic thing of you've known something, like you've been waiting on something or something's been missing, and then boom, they show up or the group shows up. I really feel like it's people related. But a lot of you, and I want to say too, like, how do I want to say this? So the houses where the T-square is happening, Cancer, Capricorn, and then the boundary between Taurus and Aries, right? If those houses are, how do I want to say this? How do I want to say this? If any of those houses are associated with your personal North Node, Chiron, or stelliums, or they're massive like identity houses like the 10th, the 4th, the 1st, 7th, right? I would say that this is probably more about you versus people just popping up, right? But if this is about you, yeah, it's like a piece of you just needed to like come to life or be recognized or retrieved in some way. And it is this confidence of, I can do it, I can handle it, I can handle anything, but it's tender, it's compassionate, it's soft, it's yummy. Anyway, I can breathe again, barely. Overall, we have Buffalo. Buffalo is like my tower card, and it's getting through changes and chaos with grace, usually resulting as a good omen or good things to come. And that's like what I feel over here. Like something happens that puts you on edge, or you've been worried about something already, and that awareness, that restlessness, that anxiety just kind of amplifies, or something makes it amplify. But then you go through this shift, you go through this change, you go through this recognition of people or a person or of self, and it's like, oh, that's it. That's it. That's it. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. That's what was missing. I was missing, or this group was missing, or what's what you were waiting on. Like, it just clicks into place. It's awesome. I will say underneath that, we do have Fox, which is a very intelligent energy. It's an observant energy. It's funny, because remember I was getting cutting in some of the cards that fell out for you? The Fox does that. The Fox changes. The Fox goes on detours, adapts when need be. They will cut a 180 on a dime, and maybe that's part of what some of you need to do here. It's going to be, excuse me, that's not for everybody, but you're going to know. You're going to know. You're going to know. Wow. Okay. I can't get away from this energy. It's so captivating, and it's so gentle, but so strong. I like it a lot. Let's go ahead and move into tarot for you guys after a sip of water. Oh my. Ooh. All right, let's do Rider Waite. Any messages or insights to my fire signs? Aries, Leo, Sag. Aries, Leo, Sag. Welcome the changes, fire signs. Welcome the changes, okay? Oh my God. Am I taking these? No, okay. Okay, let's see what we got here. So on this energy, this recognition, just the clarity, right? The clarity of the recognition of that piece of you, of this group or this person, immediate calm, immediate relief, Things are going to be okay. And with that, we got the Knight of Cups. This is an approach from the heart. It's Pisces energy. It's a message or interaction or movement that is centered in the heart, centered in the soul. Which makes sense, right? It's like, it's authentic, it's gentle. Also can be a symbol of forgiveness and acceptance, both of which I feel here with you. Mostly acceptance over forgiveness, but it is a calm, it is a very soothing energy. Whether it's someone coming into, all right. Knight of Cups and the Queen of Cups. So the deeper we get into this, it can still apply that this is a piece of you that you're recovering, you're reclaiming, which is a compassionate, gentle, understanding, someone who's accepting of things that happen, just goes with the flow. You could be recovering that piece of you. You can even be recovering a very masculine piece of you, but it would be a masculine energy that's very compassionate and very giving, very nurturing. I'm starting to think a lot of you, like this is a person or a group of people that pop up in your reality and it's like, oh my God, this is what I was waiting for. And it brings clarity and relief. Like it feels like, oh, excuse me, drinking hot tea on a sore throat, like that kind of soothing. Knight of Cups and the Queen of Cups. The Knight always approaches the Queen. Not always, but the Knight is approaching the Queen here to deliver a message or an action, a behavior. And the Queen is always in receptive mode, receiving mode, right? So it's this really soulful, emotional exchange and recognition is what I'm getting. Who am I reading for? Again, soothing. If there I don't think that there are apologies that are needed in your situation, but if there are, it's happening. It's mostly about acceptance is what I'm getting. It's mostly about acceptance and receiving truth, receiving clarity. Anything else for my fire signs? You guys got a lot of water for a fire reading. Oh, fire signs is huge. So we have the Five of Wands over here with Rabbit. Five of Wands is conflict, whether it's internal or external, and can also be a fight. And what's interesting is, like I said, Knight of Cups can be apologies. So this could be somebody apologizing for some things, but again, I don't think that applies to a lot of you. I feel like the Five of Wands is mostly you feeling like you're kind of at battle with these forces in your life, where it just feels like a waning of energy, a waning of energy, a waning of energy, and you want to do something about it. You want to stop it. Some of you, again, you've been in the energy for a bit, or you've been experiencing it for a bit, and now there's like this raised awareness of it. And then you move into this Knight of Cups energy with the Queen of Cups, where I know that really messed me up. The oak messed me up, guys. Where you have this recognition of truth and clarity and feelings and emotions, and it's just like, it's pure acceptance, and it just feels so calming, and it's giving you the clarity you need on how to handle that Five of Wands energy and what to do about this energy that's waning in your life, whether you need to re-nurture it or move on to something else. But the clarity is coming. And then we have the World. Oh yeah, major completions here with the World card. Also speaks to like major new cycles starting as well. And remember, this is also associated with the Broken Heart card in reverse. Yeah, this feels like healings, completions, gentility. It feels good. It feels really good. Excuse me. Oh, man. All right, moving on. Any other messages or insights for my fire signs? So now we have the Four of Pentacles. And it was interesting how this was coming out, because you have the Five of Wands associated with this angst and this stress and this anxiety. But between the Rabbit and the Dragon is where the Four of Pentacles landed. That Four of Pentacles says a lot, because that dragon energy seems to be the key. to the key to your own clarity about what's been missing within you or what's been missing outside of you as far as relationships go, that could bring some of that emotional stability, could bring that sense of even security or abundance back into your life, like balance things out, right? The Four of Pentacles tells me that you haven't been open to this truth. And I was kind of getting that before, where like maybe there's been a little bit of denial about this energy and this, like this in your life. Oh, sorry guys. Four of Pentacles can be closed off energy. It can also be an energy of like trying to like hold on to money, hold on to resources. Like it's a gripping energy. Oh. Some of you guys, this could be just pure fear. Like how do I want to say this? Sorry, I'm so distracted by my throat. Oh, excuse me. Like, you know, when something goes wrong or something is like not going right, sometimes when we get scared, we try so hard to hold on, but that just makes it worse, right? Where we're trying to do something about it, like, why isn't it going well? Or like, I can't figure out like how to deal with this. It's like, that's kind of what I'm getting a little bit, where you had to drop deeper. Like, you had to drop deeper into your feelings, deeper within yourself, and almost take your hands off the wheel a little bit. Some of you, that's definitely the case. Like, take the hands off the wheel a little bit to get clear. Yeah, you've been afraid of what it means that it's like, that it hasn't been working or hasn't been functioning. Sorry, fire signs. Overall, we have the Queen of Wands. Ooh, Ace of Pentacles. Wow. Nine of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles. Whoa. Ten of Swords in reverse. No, Ten of Swords, Emperor in reverse, and the King of Cups in reverse. Damn it. I'm sorry, fire signs. Hold on. Oh, excuse me. Whew. This is really starting to feel like coming together with people. Like, truly starting to feel that way. But there's so many pentacles here that it's like, I feel like it's got to be work related or related to your own feeling of being secure and stable. Or money related. Let me look at this. So overall, we have the Queen of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Page of Pentacles. That pentacle says a lot. That pentacle is the opportunity of a new path of stability, security, all of that. And the Queen of Wands is like this desire for it, this want for it. The Knight of Pentacles and the Page also speak to examining how to attain it, maintain it, how to achieve it. But there's a lot of reflection going on in these cards as well. And the reflection is going on here. Ten of Swords, Emperor in reverse, King of Cups in reverse, Three of Pentacles in reverse, Empress in reverse, Temperance, oh my Jesus, Temperance in reverse, Six of Pentacles in reverse, the Devil. So while there's this examining of the Ace of Pentacles, there's this reflection of the Ten of Swords. That's the piece that's being reclaimed here, is the Elk. Absolutely. Remember I was getting Gentle Giant? It like has a watery element to this that I don't normally feel, and I would totally say that that's the King of Cups. And Emperor is very much like the Divine Masculine principle. This is recovering the Elk piece of you. Oh my God. Sorry, guys. Recovering the piece of you that feels secure, confident, able to even give as well. Interesting. Able to even give emotionally, be open to experiences. A piece of that energy for you is chipped away at some point. Some of you, this thing that's been waning is something that you've invested a lot of your time and energy into. And especially with the Emperor and King of Cups being here, it could have been family related or like literally like something you've been doing for years, like career related. Either way, it's recovering this piece of you. To go from insecure to secure, to go from controlling to, I want to say almost like managing. Managing. Being able to manage versus control, right? Being a leader versus a tyrant, like that kind of energy. Being emotionally detached or unavailable to being very compassionate and open and sensitive. Gentle giant just came back to mind. There's something that happened that took this away from yourself, a piece of this for you. No matter when that happens. So some of you guys are doing soul retrieval when it comes to this energy. Okay. Almost like you need to get to this Ace of Pentacles, to get to this World card. Yeah. Yeah. For some of you, you're going to have healing from a person who was like this that caused you a lot of pain, because you're going to have a person or people come into your life that's going to make everything very clear on why this even happened in the first place with that specific individual. But sorry, fire signs. Oh, this is annoying. No matter how this is manifesting for you, I see you basically moving from a state of fear and anxiety and trying to hold on to something that is clearly needing change, holding on to an aspect of your life or relationship or situation or a job or a lifestyle or your own health. And it's almost like you've been like fighting a battle here and you're like, I don't know what else to do. Almost feeling at a loss, like, what else can I even do with this? But the Four of Pentacles tells me how much you've been holding on to that fight and maybe even having a little bit of attachment. When that dragon energy comes in, when you move into the dragon energy, everything becomes clear, whether because somebody's coming in to talk to you or ask for an apology or practice forgiveness, or it's literally just you having this very honest, soulful moment with yourself or new people in your life. It's giving you the clarity, the aha, the healing that's needed to recover that elk energy within yourself or to embrace elk energy in your life. You're going to get very clear on what changes need to take place here. So, and you're going to move into the Ace of Pentacles. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right, fire signs. Hope you enjoyed that. Let's go ahead and move on. So I apologize for all the coughing. I have no control over it. That elk really literally felt like a hairball in my throat. And it was very distracting. So I'm going to give myself a couple minutes to recover before we get into the next element, okay? Oh. Okay. Jesus. Earth, air, or water? Air? Okay, we're gonna go with air. Okay. Damn it. I'm probably gonna be like this for the rest of the video. Sorry, guys. Okay. Air signs. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Ah! What is going on today? What is going on today? Okay. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Hold on, let me give myself a minute. Hearing diamond. Are you coming out like a diamond there, signs? Everyone's got intense energy this week, apparently. Are you coming out like a diamond? Are you gonna start living like a diamond? It feels like you're getting out of your own way. To be, I'm, just calling it how I feel it. Feels like you're finally getting out of your own way here. Air signs on something. You might have a passe attitude about it. Like I just heard, well, whatever, I'm over it, is what I just heard. I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm over it. You may actually just like wake up one morning and be like, whoa, this does not matter to me anymore. But there's something about it that I want to say elevates you or elevates a situation. Like you no longer caring about something or caring about someone or a situation. Something that you did care quite a lot about. You put a lot of value. Yeah, you put a lot of value on it. And suddenly you're like, this doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Woohoo! Tiger. Usually a card of spiritual awakening, ferocity, divine feminine power. I do feel again like you are awakening to something. Like like I keep getting these same words. Like you literally wake up one morning and you're like, oh, shit's different. Things be different. I don't care about that anymore, or those things anymore, or that relationship anymore. Like literally, you're just like, there's other things to be worried about, or there's other things that are important. You guys are really in the reprioritization energy that I was picking up on. Sea serpent. Okay, it's almost like you guys are fire signs. Sacral, the sacral chakra. Yeah, you're having a huge epiphany, awakening, a light bulb moment of what actually matters to you and what doesn't. Excuse me. So much energy still moving through me. Excuse me. Yeah. And a lot of confidence and a lot of passion for whatever those new values are. It's very black and white. It's very firm too. It's very much like this matters now and that doesn't. So I'm gonna follow this and I'm not gonna follow that. I'm gonna invest in this and I'm not gonna invest in that. It's very clear cut. Very clear cut. Wow. The card of magic with Crow. This card is also magician-like to me. Speaks of alchemy, excuse me. Transmutation, also speaks of timelines. You're in a very magical place, air signs. This week, like you're in a very magical place. You feel incredibly empowered. You're also realizing too, it's like there's so much within your realm of capability of just executing what feels right, executing the kind of life that you want to have, and it's like wasting no time about it. That's kind of what it feels like to me. Wasting no time about it and doing it almost effortlessly. Your life from Monday to Sunday might be very different. Like legitimately. Or at least how you feel about your life or what matters in that life is going to be very different. You may even feel like you're waking up like within some time in the week and you're a different person, a different reality, you're a different version of you. A very empowered version of you. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Yeah. Butterfly. Speaks of rejuvenation or rebirths after periods of letting go or endings. It's rejuvenated, it's new. Whew, shine bright like a diamond, air signs. Starfish. This is magnetism, it's attractiveness, it's being noticed. I also consider this to be like the star card or wish fulfillment. Yeah. Air signs, you might have a very simple reading too. You're gonna wake up and shine bright like a diamond this week. After waking up to what matters to you and just shifting into that, like again, effortlessly. It's like you wake up and you just know, and then boom, things are just shifting because you've just shifted that dramatically and you're in it. You're embodying it. It's not going to change. So it just starts to like ripple out. Very decisive, very clear, very confident, very simple, very straightforward there. Okay, let's pull some cards for you guys. Hold on, where's my other, let's do this one. Oh. I'm gonna do the cat oracle, the cat tarot oracle. Any messages or insights for my air signs? Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Okay. Very, very independent energy, I gotta say. Like where fire signs had a lot of this like external energy and like this feeling of like people or persons like showing up in fire signs reality, and there's a lot of like exchange of emotions and energy. This feels very independent. This feels very solo. I mean, maybe company in bed every once in a while. There's a little bit of a sexual energy here too, but it feels very independent. Any other messages or insights from my air signs? Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Am I taking all of these? Just the bottom. Okay. Oh. Seven of Air. Seven of Swords. I love the pictures on these cards. How many times Clyde has looked at me like that? Anyway, Seven of Swords coming out. I feel like that's like coinciding with the tiger as far as representing like what you're awakening to. It's what you didn't realize what was actually important. That's what I keep getting. Like, yeah, waking up again to what actually matters to you that you didn't even realize. It's like, feels like secret desires almost. Like, yeah, like secret desires, secret wishes, secret wants. Like, why wouldn't you be privy to this though? Something was keeping you from being aware of that. Could have been the ego, could be fear. But we don't have any cards to indicate what it was. It almost doesn't even matter, actually, is kind of how this is feeling. It doesn't matter because you're awakening to it now. You're awakening to it now, whatever was hidden behind that Seven of Swords, whatever was hiding from you, from yourself. Whoop. Any other messages? Yeah. Wow, Magician. So normally I would read this as someone who's very manipulative. Someone who is a mage, someone who is a magician, and maybe not always up to you know, not always up to good, right? That's how I would normally read this, and you do have the Magician card here. I don't feel like that's the case, though. I mean, maybe you could be realizing, like, how people are deceptive around you. I feel like you're waking up to your own self-deception. Because I keep feeling like you just wake up and you're like, oh, shit, wait a minute. That's actually what I want. That actually means something to me. That other shit doesn't matter to me. Like, that's what I'm getting. Like, you're waking up to your own power. Yeah. You're waking up to your own wants, your true desires that you haven't been paying attention to or you've been blinded by. Excuse me. You've been blinded to by other things. And I want to say potentially from ego or fear has been keeping you from whatever these true desires really are. And then in turn, you've also been hidden from how powerful and capable you really are. What a true magician, tiger with the crow and literally magician. Yeah, what a true magician you actually are. Which means you know how to quickly co-create. You know how to quickly make things happen in your reality, and you're going to realize to what extent. Anything else for my air signs? Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Wow. Liberation. This is the, I want to say this is the death card. Yeah, death card. Wow. Transformation, endings, and change. Yeah, it's like this it feels so fast. I can't get away from how fast this feels. It literally feels like going to bed one night, you know, feeling like your normal self, maybe feeling like things aren't super great, like maybe this waning energy, right? Like maybe you're becoming more aware of that. And suddenly you wake up and you're like, wait a minute. It's like you wake up and it's just like, oh, I'm going to change everything. I'm different. My life is different. Like it's a serious, just 180 transition, and it feels overnight. Clarity on you, clarity on your capabilities. Again, it's very straightforward. Let's see if any other cards want to come out here. I feel like everyone's going to get a very short reading this week, and that was not my intention. And again, if you realize that someone is being deceptive or there's some shady shit going on, you're going to also realize just as quickly, like, how fast you can change up the situation. And you're going to feel very empowered in doing so. I feel like all the emphasis for you is on this tiger. All the emphasis for you is on this tiger. Let's see, and then we have Knight of Wands in reverse. Oh boy. Yeah. You wake up with ferocity, for sure. Knight of Wands in reverse can be impulsivity, it can be recklessness, it can be anger, frustration, all of that. And then going, oh my God, coinciding with the Death card, right? It's like, for some of you, it's actually putting your fire in check. Some of you, it's also, thank you, I don't want to say this. It's not the restlessness, irritation, frustration, thank you. Frustration that you've been having. You guys have been frustrated. You guys have been frustrated and feeling like you want to do something about it. Frustrated by a relationship, a job, whatever, right? You've been frustrated by something that hasn't been working out, something that's been having waning energy. You're not going to be frustrated anymore because you're going to realize what you can do. You're going to realize it's completely within your capability of dealing with it, whatever hasn't been going right. It's all in the tiger. It's all in the tiger. Do I have the book close by? I kind of want to read it to you guys. Oh, Lordy. Okay, hold on. I do. It's buried. Just give me a second. All right. Tiger. Where are you? Where's the elephant? Nope, don't want the elephant. There it is. There she is. The tiger hunts at night, at one with the silence, fearing nothing. This card reminds us to take in the wild darkness, to allow the lunar forces to soothe and heal our spirits. Sensuality, receptivity, and devotion are all heightened in the midnight hour, and the tiger takes advantage of these boons. Spend some time in silence this evening, drinking in the potent calm. There's nothing to fear in the stillness except the awakening of your own power. It's funny they keep mentioning night, right? Because that's what I was feeling like literally overnight. Like you go to bed and you wake up and you're different. You're different. You're real clear on things. You're very empowered. And it's just, again, very simple, very straight to the point. And yeah, you're definitely waking up to your own power. You don't have to be frustrated about anything. You don't have to feel angry about anything. You don't have to feel stuck about anything. You're literally moving into this place of, I know who I am. I know what I want. I know what I'm going to go create in this world. I know what actions I'm going to take. I know what changes I'm going to make. And I'm going to be free like a beautiful little diamond butterfly, living out my best life. Very simple. Overall, we have Page of Pentacles in reverse. Ooh. Queen of Fire, Queen of Wands, Aries. Queen of Wands to me is the Tiger card, by the way, for anybody who's watched me for a bit, while the Lion is the King of Fire. Anyway, with Queen of Water in reverse, oh, Five of Swords. Yeah, you've been feeling like what you want has been out of reach. No more coughing, please. You've been feeling like what you want is out of reach. For some of you guys, you could have been having a fight or a discourse between you and another person. That would be between a Queen of Fire and a Queen of Wands. Oh, excuse me. With the Page of Earth in reverse indicating jealousy or bad friends or just lack of trust, lack of faith, like doubts. So whether you've been having an issue with another person and they've been kind of a little shady, or damn it. Or you've been feeling really frustrated, to be honest, borderline entitled to what you want, but feeling stuck, feeling like you can't do anything about it. So suddenly realizing you're bigger than those problems, or you're bigger than that conflict, and you can transform your reality in any way you need to. You can liberate yourself from any sort of frustration or fight or conflict. Again, whether it's with you and another person or just you and yourself. I keep getting this like very strong sense, and don't be offended by the word entitled, but I keep getting this very strong sense of like attachment, and I want what I want, I want what I want, I want what I want, but like almost being stuck. Again, stuck, or again, maybe you're fighting with somebody over what you want or what they want. It hasn't really felt so good. It's felt kind of distorted. I mean, that Five of Swords and the Page of Earth in reverse, like, says a lot. Definitely says a lot. That both speaks to, like I said, jealousy, not really having trust, or having doubts, or false friends, to realizing you're the magician. You're the magician, and you can change this any way you want to. And in doing so, you might also realize that something is not worth your time. Someone is not worth your time to have a fight. It's like literally almost, I'm just going to move in secret and do whatever the hell it is I want to do. Interesting. Okay. Sorry about the coughing, guys. This started in the fire sign reading, and it's very distracting, and it's messed me up. And sometimes that happens if I have a bad coughing fit, but it was totally due to energy. But let's move on. And I'm gonna take another little break. Everything will be time-stamped. Just to get my throat back. Oh my god. Ugh. 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 Are we doing earth or are we doing water? Earth, you're calling me, but I keep feeling water. So maybe you're in a lot of water energy. Are we going with earth? Yeah, we're gonna go with earth. Okay. Okay. Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. So yeah, earth signs, I kept getting this pull of water. And it's like, it's weird. I want to say pull. Not pull, but pull. Like U-L. L. You know, U-double-L. There could be a lot of emotion rising within you, earth signs. Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. I feel like you've been trying to keep, I want to say waves, like literally. I feel like you've been trying to keep these waves away or in control. But there's some emotion coming up here. And I think it just needs to happen. I think it just needs to happen. Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. One more. Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Just got the snake. Could be synchronistic for you. Snake comes in all kinds of flavors of meanings, you know, creativity, sensuality, cycles, death, rebirth, transformation, deceit, temptation, right? Snake comes in a lot of different flavors, but Kundalini energy, right? So yeah, I'm getting the snake with you. I really want to say, like, if you start to feel this water rising within you, these emotions rising within you, I feel like they're not just emotions. Like, oh, how do I want to say this? I feel like it's a part of you you've been putting on snooze is like what I want to say. And that's also very collective because that's what this T square that I mentioned in the astrology portion. Which if you didn't watch that, I really recommend at least watching the T square portion, what I had to say on that. It's really important for this week. Um, and some of the energies we're moving through with the North Node and Pluto and New Moon Cancer and all that stuff. But anyway, ooh, just felt an energy right there. I was like, whoa. Sorry, coming back. It like literally felt like a spirit like just went like they wanted my attention. Sorry, coming back. Um, I want to say this is more than just your feelings. I want to say this is more than just emotion. I feel like you're worried if you like let yourself surrender into this, like you're gonna feel out of control. Some of you might. I feel like some of you are also. Are you afraid of your feelings? It's like no, it's deeper than that. Some of you have just had a lot of bouts of emotion, is what I want to say, and that's also very collective in the last few months, like an emotional roller coaster. And I feel like you're almost fatigued. Yeah, I feel like earth signs. A part of you is fatigued or tired, or it's like, you don't feel like your normal 100% vital self. And so you're like, God, if I let all that emotion in, some of you guys are worried it's just gonna burn you out. But I think holding it back is gonna burn you out. Anyway, I want to say this feels like more than just feelings and emotions. It feels like, again, a piece of you that you've been putting on snooze, that it's you. Like you can't put you on snooze, right? Right. So let's keep going. Interesting. Black egg, throat chakra energy, usually a card indicating some sort of truth that's trying to come out or be expressed or communicated, which is exactly what I just picked up on you, isn't it? In a way, where it's like you keep putting a snooze on something that's trying to come up within you. It's a piece of you, which means it's a piece of your truth. It almost feels like you're running or hiding from that piece of you. I would definitely watch the fire sign reading because there was like a soul retrieval coming, like getting a piece back of the self that came up in that reading too. Only if you resonate with that. But anyway, yeah. So we have the black egg here. It's gonna break through earth signs. Elephant, it's very Aries energy to me, and then buffalo is usually a tower for me. But moving through the chaos with grace usually comes with the buffalo card. Don't suppress this. Don't suppress this. This needs to come out, earth signs. This needs to come out. This feels like an internal shift, an internal awakening of self is really what this feels like. Like there's a piece of you you've been beating back, snooze, because it's intense. Or you feel overwhelmed by it. But I want to say you feel overwhelmed by it because it's actually, how do I want to say? I feel like a part of you is breaking through in a way that hasn't broken through before. Like some sort of personal barriers or blocks are crumbling. For some of you guys, it's going to be an ego death. And I think that's also why you keep resisting it or snoozing it, because I can feel it. It feels overwhelming to you. Like, I don't have the time or space for this right now. I don't got the time or space to deal with this right now. But it's coming out. Earth signs. It's coming out. It's got to come out one way or another. It's coming out. For some of you guys, this could actually be something that you've been avoiding telling another person. It could also be manifest that way. I feel like it's way more about like an internal quaking of self. But if you are finding it's more in the realm of, I gotta tell someone this, or I gotta tell these people this, whether it's a group or one person, but whatever it is that you're gonna say, it's gonna change a lot of things. It's going to change a lot of things between you and this person or you and these people if it's much more about a piece of truth that, like, you just don't want to deliver the news. It will cause a tower. It will cause something to fall, but it will also cause you to be liberated in self, which, again, I think it's way more the former for most of you, where it's a piece of you that's like, let me up and out, damn it. Don't be afraid of me. Let me, force this ego death on you. Like it's literally you. Anything else from my earth signs? heart chakra. We have the throat and the heart chakra now. Yeah, this is coming from deep within you. And that's what I was getting. It's like, it's trying to come up. It's trying to come up. It's trying to come up. It's trying to come up and trying to come out. Trying to come up and trying to come out. I can feel it. You've been resisting it. You're afraid of it. You're afraid of what it means to have this come up and out, or what it even would be like physically. Because I get for some of you, it's like you feel like it's just going to overwhelm you. But it's emotional. It's emotional. And again, for some of you, it's needing to deliver some earth-shattering news. But it's coming from deep within your feelings. And potentially, I think even just what you need, what's been long overdue. Ooh, okay. Anything else from my earth signs? I'm laughing for those of you guys who like are new. I'm laughing because fire ant is literally like that. It's this tension and pressure that we get from within when we're uncomfortable or when we're upset, like when we're fighting something internally. It's like rising emotions of anger because you're in an uncomfortable situation or in a situation that doesn't feel good, or it could be even conflict, right? It's this feeling of overwhelm. It's this feeling of inevitable explosion going to happen where something will have to give. It's exactly what I was getting for you. Earth signs. It's going to come up and out. You might as well just surrender to it as opposed to having it erupt and vomit all over the place, right? It's going to be in the form of communication or some sort of truth. And if this is just between you and it's like this internal transformation, internal quaking, like an ego death or something like that, it's much needed, okay? It's much needed. If this is more in the realm of I need to tell someone something, keep in mind, Mercury is going to be working with, is going to be in a square to Uranus by the end of the week, and conjunct Lilith. That will set off any kind of like word volcano like this. So just letting you know. Moving on. Anything else for my earth signs? So on golden egg, we have whale. Whale is the great mist. Oh my God, my throat. Whale is the great mystery. It represents the interconnectedness of all things, our souls, the deep, deep subconscious. Again, this is coming from deep within you on an emotional level, on a soul level. I want to find the right words because I don't know if I'm like communicating the significance of this like enough. The fact that whale is out here with golden egg, it's like, yeah, it's this burst of truth energy that's going to break down your own walls, your own barriers from self, things that you've been avoiding acknowledging within yourself, or feelings you've been avoiding acknowledging, or again, like the conversation you've been avoiding, that even your soul is like, oh my God, you better do this now. It's like long overdue. Long overdue. Like you need any more spiritual cards to come out here. Cosmic egg, the crown. Oh my God. Oh, earth signs. So you have another chakra card out here. You have the heart, the throat, and now you have the crown. Remember I was getting snake? The cosmic egg comes out when you are on the precipice of completing spiritual development of some kind or spiritual growth of some kind. Also speaks to ascensions and awakenings and all of that as well. Yeah, I keep getting that it's like, this has to happen. This has to happen. It's part of your spiritual development. It's part of your spiritual or personal development. So again, if it's something that you need to say to somebody, the tension's been building for a long time. I mean, elephant and buffalo are both very like energies. Elephant breaks down barriers and walls. Buffalo is like thunder and lightning and towers. All circulating around your soul, your feelings, your heart, and expressing that, reaching that level of truth within, and then also to express it externally if need be. Like, this is a push you need. This is a moment that has to happen. Don't fear it. Stop fighting. Just give in. Just give in. Just give in. Just give in. No matter how emotional it is, how overwhelming it is, like, just give into it because it has to happen. And then underneath that, we've got Deer. Divine feminine principle in this deck, like Empress energy. The Deer is grace, she's compassion, she's gentility, also represents sexuality in a way. I feel a lot of healing with this. Oh, and I feel a big relief too. I feel a lot of healing with this, and just like all can be well now. Like, in doing this and allowing this process or initiating this conversation, you're allowing full acceptance and flow of energy because you're not going to fight it anymore. And underneath that, we do have Starfish, which to me is like the star card. So reaching this, like, this feeling of elation, fulfillment. The star card, the starfish card is also about attraction and magnetism, like being so captivated and drawn in, right? Healing. I just feel a lot of healing here. It's interesting too, because I can feel some of you guys have been fatigued. It's because of this. It's because you've been fighting it. It's because you've been fighting it. And it almost feels like reaching the mountaintop and dropping all your gear and just throwing yourself on the ground. Like, having this moment. Having that moment. Because you're not fighting yourself anymore. You're not fighting the natural flow of things anymore. But you've been worried about the consequences of letting this just flow, or saying the thing. But you can't, because it has to happen anyway. Anyway, moving on. Let's pull some cards. Are we gonna do Midnight Magic? No. We'll do classic. Any messages or insights from my Earth signs? Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Some of you, this could even result in like a third eye opening. I only say that because we have the heart to the throat to the crown, and I'm like, where's the third eye? We have all this like thunder and breaking down barriers energy happening in the midst of that. So some of you guys, it could also be that there's a lot going on in your upper chakras. For those who are like my mystics or who like are in this boat, right? So don't be surprised if that happens. Anyway, don't force it. Don't force it to happen. If it happens, it happens. Anything else for not Earth signs? Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. You cannot avoid this. Ooh, one more. Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Eight of Cups. If this is about a conversation, it's almost like you're telling someone, I gotta go. I gotta go. I gotta move on. I gotta change directions, or I can't be in this anymore. I can't do this anymore. For some of you, this is about your own truth here, about yourself, that there's a huge change that needs to happen here, because it's like whatever you've been fighting, for some of you, it's like holding on to something that because you don't want it to change. This is very similar to the fire sign reading, but definitely also the collective as well. The 8 always goes to the 10. You want to be happy. You want the 10 of Cups. That requires you to be honest about what the 10 of Cups is for you, what that looks like for you, what that feels like for you, which makes sense to me because of the T-square. Again, watch the astrology portion of the sun opposing Pluto, and then they're both square in the North Node, right? The sun being in Cancer, water, emotional stability, domestic life, all that, and then opposing Pluto in Capricorn, which is more like, well, you guys, your Earth, right? You want more emotional fulfillment and stability in your life. That's clearly something you want. And this is you being honest about, I need to go pursue that now. I need to prioritize this now. Oh, I get chills. Just got the chills. Yeah. I knew that tower was going to come out. And of course, it landed on fire ant with buffalo and elephant and all of that. You've been resisting this so hard. The tower is the moment of truth, the realization, the explosion, right? You've been fighting this so hard. I promise you're gonna feel so good after. Maybe not for the first few seconds, but you're gonna feel really good if you just give into that. Anything else from my earth signs? Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Yep. On Golden Egg and Whale, we have Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands knows what she wants. That is Aries energy, and the nodes are switching over, right? We got to start embracing that North Node Aries energy now. Again, this is in Tropic. Follow your heart, follow your soul, and don't be afraid to do what needs to be done. Don't be afraid. Queen of Wands is fearless. She ain't afraid of shit, right? She ain't afraid of shit. Interesting star card on the bottom. Anything else for my earth signs pertaining to the spread? I mean, it's pretty clear. Actually, can I get a card for the Eight of Cups? Can I get a card for the Eight of Cups, please? You've been fighting this shit. Eight of Wands in reverse. 2 8s, by the way. 2 8s. Eight of Wands in reverse are like delays, challenges, obstacles, blockages. Just like, this is that fire ant energy. This is you resisting. Some of you may have even felt like, how do I want to say it? Like some of you may have not been aware that you've been inducing the Eight of Wands in reverse. Like some of you may have been feeling like, I am blocked from my happiness. I am blocked from my Ten of Cups, when really it was something you were actually doing to yourself. It was some sort of resistance that you were fueling because you weren't surrendering to you, your heart or your soul or your emotions, or you weren't surrendering to some sort of truth about what it would require of you, or a conversation that it would require. Oh, it's time, Earth signs. It's time. You can do this. I believe in you. You can do this. Pluto square the North Node is going to kick your butt. I swear, it's going to kick your butt if you keep resisting. Do not resist. Do not resist. Stop resisting. Surrender, surrender, surrender. Anything else for my earth signs? My God, it's so clear. All the readings this week are just very simple. Look, Ace of Swords, the truth, the answer, the solution, the conversation. That is what you've been holding off. That's what you've been feeling blocked from. Again, even if you didn't realize you were self-inducing that. Am I taking this? Yeah. Oh, the Tower in reverse with the Six of Wands in reverse. Resisting, 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 resisting has also led you to feel like you're kind of in a losing battle with that. And you are. I hate to say it, but you are. You are in a losing battle with this because this is energy that is trying to flow. It's your soul. It's your soul. It's your emotions. It's this push in a specific direction. It's the push to the Ten of Cups. I don't think your soul's going to let you sit here any longer. Spirit might not even let you sit here any longer. Whatever here is for you. On the bottom, yeah, Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Oh my goodness, Lovers in reverse. Yeah, you're not gonna be able to sit here. Oh, I mean, it just goes on and on. Nine of Wands in reverse with the. Am I back? I'm back. Nine of Wands in reverse with the Page of Swords. Ten of Swords in reverse. There's it's like I feel this feeling of powerlessness. Worried about failures, worrying about mistakes, worried about endings. There's a little bit of worrying about image here too, which is kind of interesting. I just feel this very like vulnerable, a little helpless, reaching the end of your rope on this resistance here. And with this too being in the overall position, that says a lot. The Wheel of Fortune reverse says that you've been feeling like you've been fighting the universe. Like you feel like you've been fighting like and like the energy of your life or the energy of the situation, or you've been even fighting yourself. Lovers in reverse also indicates that, and you can't sit here much longer. You just can't. The wheel says that there needs to be a shift. There needs to be a change. You need to stop resisting. Stop resisting, stop resisting. This also speaks to like needing, it's funny, look how it just turned up right. I was gonna say you need to make a choice. This is also indicative of you need to make a choice, and that choice is surrender. Surrender to the emotion that wants to come up, surrender to the true desires that you have that want to come up, the conversation that wants to be had. Surrender. It'll be worth it, I promise. I mean, look at that. It'll be worth it. It might feel scary. It might feel even like you're losing or you're sacrificing or you're giving up on something. I don't think so. I think it's literally you just moving in the right direction for you. It just feels very hard. But I believe in you, Earth signs. I believe in you. Whew. Who's next? Water? Maybe that's why I saved you guys for last, because of that Sun opposing Pluto part of the T-square. I just realized. Excuse me. Okay. Which will be interesting for anybody who has a lot of earth and water in their chart, right? Because I feel like water signs, you guys might be the opposite, but we'll see. Excuse me. It's energy. Oh, timestamp. Oops. Glad I remembered. Okay. All right. Water signs. Whew. Cancer. Pisces. Oh, Phil. I just got all tingly. Scorpio. Cancer. Pisces. Scorpio. Why do you feel so serious? Water signs, you feel very serious. Suddenly I feel like I just got a nugget of a lot of fear and panic. Why are you so freaked out? What's giving you this anxiety? Hold on, just give me a second here. It's like trepidation is the word that comes up. So I feel like the root of whatever this is that I'm feeling is anxiety. I'm really feeling it in my solar, like super strong. But I feel like when this comes up for you, or when you feel, sorry, distraction, or when you feel this, I feel like it induces a lot of emotion or a lot of crying. So something very similar to earth signs that I was picking up on. It's almost like I'm tapping into your worst fear. I think you might interpret it that way. You know what? Okay. I feel like these are emotions that you've been carrying around for a very long time. Ooh, water signs, you're gonna make me cry. You might have lived out your worst fear. And those emotions of that experience, I think, are still sitting within you. Because to really let them go, it's like, finding acceptance in that it happened and that you're here and you survived, right? It's like you're still standing and everything's okay. And then like, wow, like woosah, right? Like they're really letting it go. Sometimes those emotions, like they got to come back out. Not saying you need to have a huge cry fest, but maybe it's out of your control and it just, your body, your soul just wants that big soul cry, right? That's what I'm really feeling for my water signs. Okay, so no wonder you guys went last. This feels like a lot of pain and grief and anxiety around a worst fear scenario where like your sense of security was ripped away, or like whatever that looks like for you is your worst fear. Maybe it's homelessness. Maybe it's, someone dying on you. You know what I mean? Like things like that. And I keep getting this feeling like some of you might have already lived this out. And so those emotions are sitting there within you. For some of you, it's just acknowledging that that fear is there, whether you experience it or not. But I feel like a good chunk of you already went through this, which is why it's like, it's almost like working through almost like PTSD a little bit. But coming back, for those who didn't actually live this out, acknowledging that you have a worst fear within those kind that kind of realm, and it might be coming up right now. I feel it. It's like deep in the solar, like almost sacral, but I want to say it's really like solar, or it's affecting your solar greatly. I'll say it that way because it's emotional, man. It's emotional. Could this be ancestral? This could be karmically related, like ancestrally or past lives. Like that. I'm definitely getting a little feel of that there, but like that this is about the worst fear, your worst fear, in terms of losing your stability or your sense of safety. Okay. I'm kind of scared to dive into this portion of the not scared. I'm not scared. It's worst fear. Yeah. Like I almost feel like my stomach is like quivering. Water signs: Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Interesting. We have Turtle, slow and steady, right? Pacing, going with the flow of things and being grounded. Turtle is also my ancestors card. You're being confronted with your worst fear. And again, it's your worst fear in terms of your own emotional security, like feeling safe. You're being faced with it. Like you're going along your path, you're doing your life, you're doing your thing, and it's like it comes up and like looks you in the face. I'm not trying to scare anybody. And I'm not saying like you're going to like be in a life-threatening situation. I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you're being confronted with it because some of you already went through it and like there's emotions and trauma that are trying to like come out. I feel like that's happening so you can reclaim self a little bit. Yeah, not a little bit. They said not a little bit. So you can reclaim self if you've already experienced this. And if you haven't, it's coming up so you can understand yourself more. There's a really cool saying that I came across in the Big Bertha deck. I think it's from the ancestors portion, the angels ancestors oracle portion of that, where it's a hunter card. And it speaks to understand your fears so you can understand your desires, right? Because oftentimes the things that we want most in this world or things that we crave most in this world, the flip side of that is the fear of experiencing never having those things or losing those things, right? Unmasking that fear will help to reclaim yourself a little bit more, but will also help you to understand yourself on a deeper level. Okay. Interest crocodile. I feel like you have support. I feel like you got some non-physical support going on here with turtle and crocodile because I keep getting this like just take it slow, just take it slow, just take it slow, just take it slow. Like when these emotions come up, when the awareness of this comes up, take it slow, take it slow, take it slow. But I do feel a lot of comfort going on as well, and both are water cards. Yeah, I feel a lot of comfort going on there. But it does feel non-physical, like from guides and ancestors and that sort of deal. Anything else for my water signs? Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Buffalo is like the card of the week. So we have dolphin, beautiful, healing. Literally the card of the healer, the card of the mystic. It's also play. It's also a little bit of inner child energy and sacral and fun and all of that. We love the dolphin. Everybody loves the dolphin. Buffalo, panther. This feels like a trigger. Right? That feels like a trigger. Oh, that feels like a trigger. So buffalo to me is always the tower card, but it's about how you handle the tower, right? Are you going to move through it with grace and flow and acceptance, or are you going to fight the shit out of it, right? Dolphin is like such a beautiful healing energy that I feel like is more the energy that you can move into and harness as you're being confronted with this, but the panther feels like the confrontation. Like the panther is the catharsis. It's the raw energy of the emotion of the conflict, right? Not always pretty. For some of you, this trigger might just hit you out of nowhere, and others of you, it might actually be induced by someone in your reality. Again, I don't think you're gonna end up in a life-threatening situation. I really want to make that very clear, but it's like, it's that kind of emotion, right? Like our deepest fears are the things that evoke traumatic responses, even if we know our life is not in danger, but it brings up that feeling that we're in that kind of level of danger. Like that's the kind of like fear I'm talking about. Um, Irrational or not, right? God, I want to get more cards on this. We're going to pull tarot cards on that because I can feel it. There's a lot going on there. There's a lot going on there. Anyway, let's keep going. Anything else from our water signs? Fire ant again. Take it slow, take it slow, take it slow, take it slow. That fire ant, it basically is speaking to the panther energy. It almost feels like the violence of the release of these emotions or the fear itself. Like that's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. But again, I keep getting this like support. Like move through it slow, move through it slow, move through it with gentility, move through it with gentility. Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, the dolphin energy is that healing force, but it also could be something that could help temper a lot of the letting go or the release of that traumatic experience or those emotions or the fear itself, because dolphin is play. Dolphin is play, it's inner child, it's sensuality, it's fun, it's bright light. Like everybody loves to be in dolphin energy, right? So to temper it with that, to always come back to that, to never forget that, right? Let's move on. This feels so tense to me. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm in a very tense energy in this reading. I feel like some of you guys are picking up on that. Anything else from our water signs? Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Beautiful. On the bottom, we have horse, the master of earth in this deck. Underneath that, we have bear. Very grounding energies in the overall. I like that. Bear is usually recovery energy. In this deck specifically, it speaks to coming out of recovery. But I look at bear generally speaking as like strong, protected energy with like mama bear, papa bear, right? That's how I look at bear. But horse, horse is the master of earth. So like mastering your grounding, mastering your own balance, your own sense of self, like between Cancer and Capricorn actually, because the horse to me is Queen of Cups and Queen of Pentacles. But the horse can do it all. She wakes up, she does her breath work, she does her yoga, she makes breakfast, she takes care of the kids, and then, goes to work and does some volunteering after, whatever, comes back, pays bills, whatever. Very feminine, actually. These cards feel very feminine to me for you. Water signs. You might need to be in a bubble around this time. You don't have to be, but I think you could benefit as all these like emotions and stuff come up, as trauma comes up or this big fear comes up, because it feels like you're coming out of it stronger, like you're coming out of it with mastery, well, self-mastery with the horse. That's what it feels like to me. But it feels like what you're dealing with feels very intense. It feels, and I'm not trying to like make this all dramatic. It's just what I'm getting, and I'm just going to be honest with you guys. It feels just like raw forms of anger, raw forms of pain, raw forms of fear, right? It's like that's really what I'm getting here. Almost like being in a container is what's just going to happen naturally, especially with this energy. I feel like you're being surrounded by like ancestors and spirit guides. Like I feel that very strongly. Let's move on. Let's pull some tarot cards. What do I want to use for you guys? No, not those. All right, we'll do White Series Tarot. messages or insights for my water signs? Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, that was crazy. Funny, both the Queen of Cups and Queen of Pentacles showed themselves. I'm not taking it because it was word vomit. It was card vomit for sure, but I am going to take what's on the table. So we have 3 of Pentacles in reverse with the 4 of Wands. This feels like frustration. This has a very frustrating feeling of like not being able to make shit happen with people. Like, let's make plans and go do this. Not going to work. Let's go and do this project together. Not going to work. Hey, let's just like, let's just do this. Let's just do that. Or even just the foundation of your relationships of like friendships, romance, family, what have you, just not working. Not working, not working, not working, not coming together. A lot of you guys, this might be work related as well, just because it is Pentacles. It's like barely keeping something alive is what it feels like. Yeah, barely keeping relationships alive, barely keeping a business alive, like barely keeping your own financial foundation alive, like barely keeping alive, barely keeping alive, barely keeping alive is what this feels like to me. But I do feel like other people are involved in this. The 3 of Pentacles and 4 of Wands always involves other people. So it's not just something by yourself. And there's frustration there. There's frustration there. Anything else for my water signs? Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Okay, 6 of Wands. That landed on the Panther. Where's your biggest fear coming in? Because I feel that so strong. Remember I was getting it was about your security. 4 of Wands implies that. 4 of Wands is all about stability. Building foundations for the long term. 3 of Pentacles are the plans to do that. It's like the basics of something that's supposed to bring security and stability, friendships or business or otherwise, can't seem to get a hold. Excuse me, and that could be the trigger. Energy moved through me. I'm gonna take that as a yes. But on Panther, we get the 6 of Wands. That is a very irritated look at me. Pay attention to me. Pay attention to what I'm doing. Pay attention to what I'm saying. So water signs is interesting because this is only minor arcana. So while I'm getting that there's like this root of like your biggest fear or like your biggest trauma as it relates to your own security, whether that's financial or emotional, it feels like more emotionally rooted though, but that's also tied to financial, right? But anyway, that's the root, but I feel like I'm seeing something very superficial happening in your life in terms of that. Like, I feel like I'm just looking at like something you're just trying to do with other people and it's not working out. And you're getting frustrated and it's like you want to get their attention because you want to make this work. You want to make this work. Like that's what I feel like I'm looking at. But for some reason it's like the anger and frustration that's tied to that is also tied to your biggest fear. Okay. Anything else for my water signs? Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Like all the emotion I was feeling with the animal cards was way more intense than what I'm feeling with the minor arcana, with the tarot cards. Again, that implies to me that whatever's happening like superficially is literally that, like something very minor, not a big deal. But the reaction is rooted in something that's very visceral, like emotionally for you. Anything else for my water signs? Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Wow, yeah. So over here with the Four of Wands and the Three of Pentacles, like what just isn't working? Queen of Cups and the Ten of Cups. You are very focused on, how do I want to say, kind of like what Earth sign had, right? Like you're a Ten of Cups. Your Ten of Cups, your emotional stability, your stability in general, the foundations of your security. It's like that's what you're really focused on. That's what you care a lot about. But again, the Three of Pentacles in reverse implies that something about it is not going right, or the people that you've been building it with are not going right. This could literally be like with Ten of Cups and Four of Wands, especially with the Queen of Cups. That could literally be someone you co-parent with, someone you share a family with. It could be a friend group. It could even be work related with the three. And like I said, this is also a general reading, but it's like, this is about how good you feel in life, right? How stable you feel in life in terms of your relationships. It's like people aren't participating or something. Or they're just not on the same page as you. Okay. Anything else for my water signs? Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Can you tell me more about the buffalo? I want to know about the buffalo. Tell me about the buffalo. The devil. Ugh, okay. Capricorn energy. So like none of these cards are innately bad. They just kind of are, right? But we know what the devil is. The devil is restriction. The devil's restriction, attachment. Oh, that attachment feels very strong. It's attachment. What are you attached to? Give me a card for the devil. Can I get a card for the devil? Well, you're seeing the devil. Devil with the Hangman in reverse. You're becoming very aware of what has a hold on you. The trauma, that stuff I was picking up on. You're becoming very aware of it. And it's like, again, these reactions with Panther and the Six of Wands. It's like, it's almost like you want people to know your pain. Like the people that like, you know, things aren't really working out with, or it's hard to like, you know, make solid plans with people, etc., whatever. The devil is just representing that trauma that has a hold on you, and you're becoming aware of it. This is clarifying the buffalo. The tower moment, right? Understanding and seeing like, oh shit, I'm not over that, or oh shit, like that's really what I'm scared of, or that really is what has a hold on me. Some of you guys could be becoming aware of attachments, like entity attachments, but that's, you know, to each their own. But the Panther and the Six of Wands, it's like, it's this very frustrated, entitled, like I need this to happen. I need this to happen. I need to win. I need to be victorious here, or I need people to know my pain. Like it's very, very visceral is the word I keep getting. All right, let's keep going. Anything else for my water signs? Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Yeah. On the Three of Pentacles in reverse, the Nine of Swords. It's this building of worry and concern. So it's like, you're frustrated, yes. You're irritated, yes. But now we've got the Nine of Swords, which indicates fear and panic and anxiety around why this isn't working, why this isn't working, why this isn't working. Why can't I have the Ten of Cups and the Four of Wands? Why can't I have the Ten of Cups and Four of Wands? Like, why can't people be part of my Ten of Cups, Four of Wands? It actually is a very lonely feeling to me. Can I get more on the devil? Can I get another card for the devil, please? Interesting. Two of Swords. That to me says, I'm actually hearing blinded. Blinded. The devil has been inducing Two of Swords. Like I said, you're becoming aware of the devil. So the devil's going to be in all kinds of shapes and forms for you guys. But the devil is how rooted that biggest fear or that trauma is. And it has been, it's been blinding you. It's really just been blinding you from the fact that it's there. Like, how do I explain this? Like, it's like been masked or something. Yeah, I just feel like it's been masked. Like the devil's just been masked. I'll just say it that way. The devil's just been masked is all. Causing potentially confusion, again, as to why you can't have the Ten of Cups or the Four of Wands. I feel like even that is part of the devil energy. Like, why can't I have this? 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 I think you're attaching to a time when you didn't, or when you did and it fell apart, or just the fear itself that you're going to be alone. But again, you're becoming aware of this. Any other cards? Any other cards or messages for my water signs? Wow, a lot of swords here. Six of swords. Almost said Six of Wands. So 2 sixes, the Six of Wands and the Six of Swords, landing on the Hangman in reverse. You are going to move past this. You are going to unroot and unattach from this trauma, this biggest fear. I don't even want to go as far as to say that you've been sabotaging this, because I don't feel that. I don't feel that. It could be that the fear has been so rooted deep within you that you've been feeding it and not even realizing it. Like you were just desensitized to like that being part of your normal or your program, and keeping you stuck. Sometimes when we experience trauma and we haven't fully let go of it or fully healed from it, and that, you know, every trauma takes time. Even if it's just a biggest fear that you have, right? Sometimes it takes a lot of time to realize that it actually affects our decision making, or it affects like what we decide to do or how we decide to express ourselves. And because that's part of it and in the driver's seat, sometimes we can't move past it. Sometimes we can't break out of it. Like, how do I want to say this? Like, if this is really just a fear of being alone or losing, like 10 of Cups and 4 of Wands, it could be that you've been perpetuating the fear to the point where it can't manifest, right? Anyway, you're going to realize what this is and why this has been affecting you. And you're going to be able to move past it. But be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Overall, yeah, beautiful. 5 of Pentacles in reverse. Oh, Ace of Pentacles. Oh, I love this. I love this. Oh, boy. Oh, yeah. So you're going to definitely be spending some time in hermit mode, in that bear energy. Interesting. 6 of Cups wanted to come out. I really feel like this is rooted in either an ancestral or past life trauma, karmic situation thing, or a biggest fear that you have in your life that you don't realize has been affecting you trying to get the 10 of Cups and 4 of Wands. And some of you, it's something that already happened to you and it's still been affecting you. And you don't want to admit it. But anyway, overall, with the 5 of Pentacles in reverse and the Ace of Pentacles, yes, this is you climbing out of this. And honestly, God, I'm feeling a huge sigh of relief, because this feels like a new day, water signs. This feels like a new day. There's also 4 of Pentacles here with the 5 and the Ace, implying stability and security, which is what this has all been rooted in. A time where you lost it, or you're just deathly afraid of never attaining it or losing it once you've attained it in the way that you want. And again, it's about the 10 of Cups and the 4 of Wands. That's what it's about. You will see the devil and what the devil's been doing, and you'll be free of it. Anyway. All right, guys. I got to go at 22:22. By the way, I gotta go. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Sorry it was a little funky there in the beginning, especially when the coughing fit started. It was really hard to focus. I apologize. Don't forget to check out website, social media, and all that stuff listed below. And I'll see you guys very soon, okay? Take care.